New on Curiosity Stream.
I'm James Burke. I'm going to take you on a journey through time.
James Burke's visionary series returns, reimagined for our time.
Now, this is all uncharted territory.
The Washington Post hails Burke as one of the most intriguing minds in the Western world. The New York Times raves he careens from one great moment in history to another.
Where do we want to go from here?
Experience all new connections.
So what's the next connection?
With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
The pop culture field manual. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Pop Culture Field Manual podcast, sitting right at the intersection of weapons, action, the military, and pop culture.
Space!
War in space.
I was gonna say the final frontier.
Oh, okay. I thought we were gonna do. Oh man, I would have been honored.
Dude,
see, that would have been really cool.
Yeah, I actually had a bit going on in my head, and I was gonna be like space. The final frontier.
Oh, I just totally stepped on you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You fucked it all up. Honestly, because in my mind, I was like, do you want to do this intro? And then I was like, I hope he says no, so I can do my thing. But I didn't want to step on you. So I can be like, humans, let's go in space and just fuck each other up.
Yep, exactly.
War!
Yeah. It's not enough that we have war all over the planet. We have war on land, in sea, in the air. And then in the extra air, out beyond the air, we got to have war as well.
Where no air exists.
Where there is no air.
Where there is no air. We're coming for you, space. If you guys haven't kind of, put the pieces together, today's episode is all about war in space.
Yeah, that's what I really wanted to do, actually.
Exactly. See, so I stepped on you then.
Yeah, that's good. Now we're equal.
Okay,
now we're on equal footing.
Okay, now we can move forward.
Now we can move forward. Yeah.
Great.
Right, good. We hope it's been a good week for all of you. Why war in space? That's what I want to know, Cam. That's actually a question I have on my notes here. Why? What is it about? Like why? War in space, the final frontier. It was a little bit Captain Kirk for you. But why? Why do you think why not what's the difference between like a ship to ship battle in say like a pirate movie or something like that, as opposed to like a ship to ship battle in Star Trek Deep Space Nine or whatever? Why do we like war? What is it about? Do you think it's appealing? What's appealing about it to you?
To me, nothing's appealing about it. I know, dude. I'm not a big space guy. You know this. Space is terrifying. The ocean and space, leave it alone.
Not a lot of air to breathe.
If we weren't naturally evolved to exist in these environments, if humans had webbed feet and we can breathe underwater, I would love to be in the ocean.
Yeah, if God wanted us to fly, he'd given us wings.
Exactly.
Kind of thing,
yeah. If we wanted to be in space, we would be able to breathe no air at all, but we need oxygen because we're weak and frail as the human race.
We're finite beings.
Yeah. But the thing about it is it would completely change everything because I didn't get much sleep last night thinking about thinking about this. I got maybe 30 minutes.
I was neither did I, but I was playing Apex.
Yeah. Oh man. Everything that we know about, just as far as ballistics, how gravity and the elements affect around,
right?
What kind of weapon systems would we be using? Because everything changes when you go as far as when gravity exits the picture. So in my mind,
literally air, oxygen.
Yeah, I'm thinking, if I shoot a gun in space, that bullet travels forever.
Mm-hmm. But then there's also the combustion pushing you back if you're not anchored, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm okay.
And
these are all things that I'm thinking in my mind, and it's not only if you shoot at somebody, that bullet's traveling forever, and that's a safety consideration because it's okay, there is no backstop,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then and if I shoot a weapon that potentially shoots or pushes or projects me back into my buddy, and I'm just this is a shit show.
Yeah, there's a lot of consideration. You're right. There's so many things that you have to consider, not just like the basic survival, like suits, but like, could you have like body armor? Would that be able to be a thing? Like our helmets, got to be able to see, but then could they
be able to breathe
and breathe? Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just, I thought about it from an individual level, but I'm sure if I started to branch off into a, big picture thing, I wouldn't have slept last night.
If it's a good thing these episodes are only like 30 minutes and stuff like that, because we could probably go all day. I love the idea, like I know that like explosions in space is like a like people, you watch a movie, somebody like, Dad, there's no explosions in space,
it's silent.
Well, there's no sound, right? Because there's no air for the sound to like travel through and bounce off of and stuff. Like, I know you need oxygen obviously for like an explosion, like combustion, but like there's like supernovas, obviously, that kind of explosion.
Black holes are technically explosions.
Yeah, and the reason I'm saying this is because I want somebody out there on the internet to give us a nice little explanation of explosions in space.
Hey, you fucking nerds out there!
Yeah.
I know one of
we
you
love
knows.
you. I know.
Just like Tomorrow War, somebody knows about volcanoes.
Somebody knows about time travel, and they're ripping that movie apart.
Exactly. Dude, time travel. If you want to do a crazy episode, we can talk about time travel.
Dude, we could do like a time. Now, is there much of a crossover? Are there time travel? Like, there's like the final countdown. You ever seen the final countdown?
No.
It's basically it's. I'm trying to think of like the military crossover, right? So
I'm thinking of like Interstellar.
Interstellar. Oh yeah, I mean definitely.
Yeah, time travel. Anyways, wrong episode.
Sorry. Yeah.
Future.
Okay, we can talk about that later.
That's exciting. Time travel, terrifying. It's the end of the human race.
We're gonna do all the terrifying episodes.
All the terrifying
spiders, time travel.
Yeah. Focus on the road, people, if you're driving.
Well, let's talk about a few aspects of wars in space.
Back to war in space.
There's a bunch of we had a couple different space battles, like some references to some really cool like battles in space, like.
This is gonna be your baby, man.
Well, I know there's a few here that. Well, let me see if I can find one that we can both kind of relate to.
Don't worry, I have some.
Oh, okay.
I'm not useless.
Oh, okay. Okay,
No
you have your notes
you
and I have my notes.
Dad, I'm not useless.
Listen, son, you need to go back and watch more '80s movies.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I have a couple things that, in my simpleton mind, bring me joy and entertainment. But you have a good chunk of this list.
Well, let me start with a classic that everyone's gonna know. I mean, the Battle of Yavin, Star Wars: A New Hope, the attack on the Death Star, right?
Yeah, of course.
Where the rebels are going after the Death Star. I mean, I think that this it's so far back that it was such a kind of an iconic. It was like a benchmark for that kind of like it was. I think George Lucas even went back and looked at old like World War II aerial dogfight footage and kind of used some of the same kind of angles and stuff like that for like the trench runs and them attacking the Death Star and stuff like that.
Red leader.
Red 5 standing by. There's so many iconic characters that are only in that scene, like Porkins. Poor guy Porkins. Like what a name. You're resigning your kid to be a fatty.
Hey, what's your name? Porkins?
Yeah. He's the kid who was fat when he was a young guy, and then he just works out like a mad beast and becomes like a Cameron Fath.
If you knew my childhood.
Yeah, if only you knew,
If only you knew how much of a weirdo I used to be. Bullying is required.
That's why you became a Ranger.
That's why I became, because I was bullied. And guess what? And I wanted to bully other people. I wanted to bully other people.
Keep the cycle going, Cameron.
Exactly. But it's nice to know that they don't discriminate as far as pilots, because there is a whole variety of pilots.
Whole variety of dudes
on
there,
that red team. You know?
Red team, gold team. I think I had a blue team as well. Really well done, really well paced. There's a little bit of emotion there because you got Luke Skywalker's buddy. Now I'm going to forget his name, but like his buddy. There's a cut scene actually. They added it in the special edition where he gets to like talk to him before the Biggs.
Dies?
Yeah, before he dies. Was it Biggs or Wedge? No, Biggs, because Wedge I think is the one that lives. He's in like all three of them. Yeah, he's the pilot that's in all three, that appears in all three. So anyway, just a really great, just one to start it, to kick it off. There's each one of the, I think, Star Wars, episodes has a great space battle in it. Like a giant, large scale space battle. If you want to jump to the prequel, there's the Battle of Coruscant, to rescue the Chancellor, and it starts off with like two. And there's nothing that pans down, and you realize there's this entire suborbital battle going on, So anyway, it's a good first one to kind of kick it off. That's That's some really great iconic imagery.
War in space.
That's gonna be our transition.
That's gonna be awesome. See, the one I put here is, like I said, I'm a big Rick and Morty fan. So Rick and Morty, hilarious.
When I saw that, yes.
Yeah, you saw that. This is so from season 1. If we're just thinking about, we talked about explosions.
Oh, we're talking about explosions in space. Okay, I get you.
No, we're talking about I'm
everything.
Switching gears
All right,
to
I
just
get you.
space.
I want to talk about explosions too.
Yeah, but in season 1, when they or Rick basically gets that homeless guy.
Yeah, Anatomy Park.
Anatomy Park, yeah. And the guy, Ruben's his name.
Yep.
And it cracks me up because he's a veteran. Because, like, literally, he doesn't say one word. He just keeps going, Vietnam.
Yeah.
And he's like, Korea. And it cracks me the fuck up. But, yeah, they, like, Anatomy Park inside of his body. And they end up making him giant. And I love... This is where I try to pinpoint what like state they live in, because like his dong was over the Midwest, because when they blew him up or when they made him super large, he like engulfed the United States, and they're like, oh, the Midwest is getting some weird stuff right now, and it's like his dong is over the Midwest. But I'm like, okay, I was trying to pinpoint him based off where they see his body, and I was like, okay, on the map they have to be around this, just like the capture the flag, the Shia LaBeouf capture the flag, triangulate,
using the chemtrails.
Yeah, but then they end up blowing him up to get him out. I thought that was a hilarious episode. Season 1, 2, and 3 were phenomenal in that show.
They started to lose me. I just going off on a tangent. You know, 1 and 2 I thought were really great. Season 3 got real dark, and I think they kind of lost me somewhere along the way.
Really?
And, oh man, just so dark, man. This is like real cynical, real dark, and it's like I
like the dark.
I gotta
stuff,
go out in public today.
You know me, I'm weird. I like the dark stuff. Season 5, I'm a little disappointed, but season 3 did it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like
season 2. I think was the peak. Now, was Pickle Rick in season 2 or season 3? Okay, so Pickle Rick was that's a top episode.
Yeah, and but season 4, the Vat of Acid episode, you need to look that
Vat of Acid.
Vat of Acid.
Vat of Acid.
Rick creates a fake vat of acid to fake his own death, and he has like fake skeletons in it that he like will jump in the vat, and then he will let this lever go, which releases skeletons, so people think he was burned, and he has like a breathing device underneath, and it's
all right,
one of the funniest episodes.
All right, cool.
Anyways, your turn, man. Moving on.
Well, hey, let me talk about, because I was really cool. We got kind of a couple different sections, and one of them I kind of skipped over the explosions. But like, speaking of explosions, like, did you ever see Sunshine?
I see Sunshine every morning.
I kind of walked in. I kind of walked into that one.
My girlfriend's smile.
Face smack dab right into that one. I deserve that. Sunshine is a movie. It's the guy who did 28 Days Later. He did. Nice. The post-apocalyptic one, but basically our sun is dying, and so Earth is in like a nuclear winter. So they send this ship with a giant bomb to go reignite the sun. You know, they use all of Earth's resources, and Cillian Murphy's in it. Chris Evans is in it before he became Captain America. Yeah,
so
great cast.
Useless and not jacked.
Yeah, exactly. He says some stuff and then he dies. You know, it's great. But anyway, at the very end, spoilers, it's been out for a long time, but they're falling into, the depths of the sun, and at the very last second, this, the guy's in the big chamber to kind of ignite the thing, and he sets it off, and like these little sparks start like igniting and stuff like that. And then the sun's like rushing at him, but like the force of the kind of bomb that's starting to ignite kind of stops it. And he's like in this middle ground between the sun, the sun and the bomb about to go off. And there's like kind of this moment. He's like, "Oh, we did it. We're going to be okay." And then it goes back to Earth. In Australia, it's like all ice and stuff like that. You can see the opera house, and the girl looks up, and the sun like gets a little bit brighter. So it's like,
and everyone's like, "Yay!"
Yeah, it's like that's the ultimate explosion.
Do they die? Is it like
he died? Yeah, they die. It's like
everybody
a suicide mission. Yeah,
suicide.
But they know that they're gonna save the Earth.
Save the Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Selfless sacrifice.
It's kind of one of those movies where it starts off as one movie, like this kind of ponderous exploration kind of movie, and then it turns into like Freddy Krueger, because there's like a previous ship that they lost contact with, so there's like 2 bombs, and they go to investigate, and like the captain has gone crazy, and he's been exposing himself
Jack
to like
Nicholson type of
and he's just going around murdering the crew. He's like, we deserve to die. The sun is our god. I'm gonna kill you all. Whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, but anyway, Anyway, good explosion.
Great explosion.
I love it. This is like you can tell we haven't hung out in a while because it's like a tangent of tangents of tangents.
It's okay. I love it. It's great. I honestly don't know what to talk about. Because
let's talk about some more space battles, man. Do you have any kind of space battles that you can think of that are you're a big fan of or anything like that? Like now, how many have you seen Star Trek First Contact?
Dude, I actually haven't seen any of the Star Treks.
What?
Yeah, I know that was gonna bother
you got to give me a second because
This is why I was like, this episode's gonna be hard for me.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna carry us through this episode.
Oh, I see. Here's the thing, Cameron.
What's your favorite thing about Star Trek? That's what I was gonna ask.
And then
beginning.
you would just sit back for about 30 minutes. Because I could do that. I'm trying to go back and forth, you know. Anyway, well, let me talk about this one. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with the Borg. Borg is like a great, you know, they're like this, there's like cybernetic organisms. They're a collective organism, like a hive mind. So we are the Borg. So
we are the Borg.
And all they do is they appropriate technology and cultures and civilizations throughout the galaxy just to keep expanding. They have these giant things, cubes. They're giant cubes, and they just fly around, you know.
Oh, that's in Rick and Morty. They have an episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the kind of like with Unity.
Yeah, with Unity.
And the other, the shoulder to cry on guy. Yeah. he doesn't want to talk to you right now. Yeah. But yeah, that's exactly where they get it from. So it's like one of the biggest threats to the Federation and Starfleet, you know.
The Borg.
The Borg. They come and they attack, and there's this giant space battle in the beginning where they're like at Earth and they're about to win. And like they got like the Defiant from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Worf is there because his character transitioned over to that show. So they kind of bring it back for the movie. And then right as they're about to he's about to all their weapons on the Defiant are down. He's like, ramming speed. We're just going to go for it. And then like the Enterprise shows up and they like save the day and stuff like that. It's a time travel movie too. They go back in time because the Borg they create like a warp in time and space. They go back to Earth and they could see the Earth change into a giant planet of Borg. So like we got to follow them back in time and stop this. Exactly.
So Star Trek is a TV series, and they have movies as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
TV series. There was the original
Battlestar Galactica keeps popping in my
Battlestar Galactica. I got another one on here. The Battle of the Colony. There's Battlestar Galactica. So we can talk about Battlestar Galactica if you want to, man. Because there's that movie, that show, that television show. There's the old show from the 80s, and then I've noticed something about myself. By the way, can I say the more excited I get, the faster I talk. So I need to bring it down a little bit.
See, I just remember being 14, 13, watching Sci-Fi Channel, and Battlestar Galactica would be reruns. That and Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who.
Channel 49.
Oh, there you go, man. Yeah, Sci-Fi Channel. So they had an old series from the 80s, and then they rebooted it, made it darker, grittier, kind of thing. And there's basically the Cylons were something created by humanity, and they kind of evolved, and then they we got to go do our own thing. And then they evolved more. They came back, and they just decided to just decimate. There's the colonies. They're a lot of it's not Earth, but they're the colonies. They're humanoids, basically it's humans. They come and just decimate everybody. And the first episode or two, the last ship, the Battlestar Galactica, they're battle stars. This one's the Galactica. Basically what the Cylons do is they send a virus through all of the ships in the fleet, and they just shut them all down. So they're totally defenseless. That's how they decimate all, But the Battlestar's kind of an older one. It's like a 3x5 disc drive.
Reliable.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how they're able to stay off the network and they can still fight. So they're the last ship in this entire colony in this invasion. So
Battlestar Galactica, you all find a hope.
You what? We never give up. No, that's not round up. But anyway, the first couple episodes, they've been up for a week because all they can do is do a hyperdrive jump, but the Cylons can track them, so they only have 75 minutes until the Cylons show up and start to attack them again. So everybody's been up for a week. They're all threadbare and they're on yeah, they're all been up. It's so great because every time they start a clock and they're okay, we got 75 minutes to try to see where we're at because they're just jumping to random locations and stuff like that.
That's poor leadership because a good leader would have put a rest plan into play, go 50% security. Hey,
that's a fair point.
All right, everybody. I mean, how many people are I'm assuming, just
full complement.
I'm assuming the amount of people on a Battlestar there's a good amount of people.
I wonder now I'm thinking about back what the condition of the ship, because they were about to do a ceremony and turn it into a museum. So they had no crew, they had almost no weapons. They were getting ready to put it in mothballs and kind of send it on its way, But when they got activated and stuff, it was a great setup to put the main characters in such a dire situation, And then as the series goes on, they end up getting supplies. They find that there's another Battlestar that they meet up with, and and it's a great series. It's real dark and gritty and stuff, but there's a lot of good space battles. I was watching like one of the most famous ones, one of the biggest ones, the Battle of the Colony, which is like it's in the last season, almost the last episode. You know, they have to rescue somebody. There's like this human Cylon hybrid. It's like they never knew it was possible. Or she's like a viable offspring, but she can like communicate with everybody, and she has all these great powers and stuff. So they got to rescue her, you know, because she's came from the Battlestar Galactica, and they do like a thing where they get somebody who's like half silent to hack into the network to shut all the weapon systems down, and then they ram the nose of the ship into the Cylon ship, and they open up a compartment, and like a landing party goes in to look for the young lady and stuff. And so it's got all the different, you know, it's got air, land, sea. It's got all the different components to it, so everybody has something to do. So anyway, that's another great space battle.
Would you like to know more?
I'm doing my part too.
I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all.
The only good bug is a dead bug.
Yeah, dude, you know a lot a that.
Dude,
you should write a book or a fan film
or start a podcast
and talk about it for 30 minutes
all the
I don't
time.
know. Let me tell you something. I consider anything not of this world space.
To be, yeah, I guess
if you're on another planet, technically to me, in my head, you're in space.
You're in space. I guess you could. Did you ever see Predators?
Of course.
Not the Predator, not the original, but the one with Adrian Brody.
Yeah, where they go.
So that's
to, like,
in
the Predator
space.
Planet. That's
yeah,
in space.
They kind of do a reversal where they're on a different.
When he's got like the AA-12 automatic shotgun, right?
There you go. Yeah. I love that. Everybody's like a different warrior from a different kind of country or profession. You know,
they want to fight the best.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Like, yeah, let's bring them.
They bring them
here.
to the planet. Yeah, I thought that was a cool way to. Innovate.
That's a similar thing. What? That's like a.
The shotgun.
No, that like structure where this one race brings in all the best warriors from different things. What is that from?
Oh, what is that like? Is that a standard? Has that been done before?
I think it has. I'm not sure.
Mortal Kombat's kind of like that.
Yeah, I guess Mortal Kombat.
Okay, yeah,
it's like all the different disciplines.
Yeah.
Also, that terrible movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme called The Quest.
The Quest.
Oh my gosh, The Quest! What
That's
a horrible
more like,
movie.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I gotta watch it.
I'm trying to think of what you're talking about though, Cam. Because when
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, where like they bring all the different people together.
All different warriors from all different backgrounds, and technically not just of Earth too, right? It's like different people.
Is this a movie or a TV show? Because I want to watch this now.
I couldn't tell.
There's also The Last Starfighter, but I
we got it. Oh, can we talk about The Last Starfighter for a little bit?
Well, Cam's not going to talk about it.
I can't talk about it. I'll listen. I'm a hell of a good listener.
He has no idea what it is.
I can tell there's times when I'm saying and I'm really going off and like nerding out, and Cameron's just like really enjoying the fact that I'm like being such a nerd right now.
I'm not even actually listening to what you're talking about. I'm just like, God, this guy's a fucking.
You've got like
yeah,
like the
it's
song
just a
on your
monkey
head.
with the symbols in my head.
Oh man,
But it's fun,
dude.
What brings you joy?
Yes,
brings me joy.
Thanks.
So it's cool.
I do enjoy watching other people like. You know, like when you're talking about tactics and stuff like that, and you're showing your knowledge. I'm like, this is awesome, man. Cool. He really knows his stuff. So
exactly. Am I learning something from this? No.
No.
The only thing I retain from that is the Borg.
The Borg.
The Borg.
Look, if you only retain one thing from this episode, folks, the Borg.
The Borg. And that's because I said it really funny. And in my mind, I'm like, the Borg!
The Borg!
So now that's how it sticks.
Okay, good.
The way I remember things.
Emotional association.
Exactly. If I do something funny to it and I entertain myself, and inside my head, I'm like, that's funny. Then I'm like, okay, sick.
Look, this is a classic 80s movie, early 80s movie. I saw this like in the theaters when I was a kid, but it's basically like this guy, he lives in a trailer park, he's doing nothing with his life, but there's this...
You're doing nothing with your life, son.
You could have been something. There's an arcade cabinet there called The Last Starfighter, and he's like really good at it. And one night he actually beats it, and everyone's like so happy. It's like the biggest thing that's ever happened to this trailer park.
It's like, you gonna beat the high level,
yeah, you beat the score, yeah. Well, then what he finds out is that it's actually a recruiting tool for a real space battle that's going on up in space. And some guy comes and picks him up, Centauri, and he goes and he finds out that there's this Kodan Armada, Zurg and the Kodan Armada, and it's all real. And at first he's like, no, I don't want to do it. But then he kind of goes back a little. He's on his way back. He's like, he rejects it. But then that base where he was at gets gets blown up, and so the guy comes back. He's like, "You are literally the last starfighter. You got to come and help us." So he goes back and he fights and he wins. And spoilers,
he gets the girl.
Yeah, he gets the girl, and it's really early CGI, like Tron era.
Yeah, Tron,
CGI.
where you're like, oh, this is bad.
Whoa, yeah.
And I'm sure, back, I just googled it. It's 1984.
1984. There you go.
Back then, you're like, what?
It's blowing my mind.
It blew your mind. Blowed your mind.
It blowed my mind.
Blowed my mind, man.
And so anyway, that's it, really classic space battle. But I mean, what were we talking? You suggested something that you knew about.
Yeah.
Come on, give me something, Cameron.
I mean, I said StarCraft.
Do it.
Because I played.
Yes.
I played a little bit, and I remember, I'm pretty sure I said StarCraft 3 one time, and you're like, you're a fake fan.
When did that come out?
Yeah, when did that come out?
Classic me.
Classic you. Star Trek 2!
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
But it just has a bunch of expansions, just like World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really great story too. I always love the
I
story. They had it was real time strategy, but they always did a good job of actually putting. You got Rayner, you got Kerrigan, Arcturus Manx, and all that kind of stuff. The Protoss.
It was really awesome because Dwight from The Office. Do you watch The Office?
Yeah.
When Dwight dresses up as Kerrigan for Halloween.
Really?
One of their Halloween
I haven't
episodes,
seen that.
And I felt so proud because my girlfriend was sitting next to me and she's like, "What is Dwight dressed up?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Kerrigan, Queen of the Zerg." And she's like, "You're a fucking nerd." Like, I didn't date you for this shit. I dated you for your muscles.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, but I was pretty proud of myself when I'm like, yeah, that's Kerrigan. She's the leader of the Zerg. And I was like, oh, yeah. But StarCraft, no, I played it for a little bit. It's a fun game. Actually, that format of games, I started off on Warcraft 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that
did you go back, or when StarCraft was around? Oh, they were around the same time.
They were around, but and then I transitioned to StarCraft 2 because Warcraft 3 was old.
Okay.
It was super old and out.
I never played StarCraft 2.
It wasn't trendy anymore.
I always loved all the every race had their advantages and disadvantages and stuff. And I always loved the tanks that had the little platforms that would go out.
Yeah, the siege tanks.
Yeah, siege tanks.
You can use them as they're really good for anti-ground, but they couldn't attack the air.
Attack the air. Yeah, the turrets for that, Exactly. So you always pair up the turrets and the tanks and stuff.
Watching the just if you ever watch competitive StarCraft, they're building and they're so fast.
Do they still have that today?
Yeah, they still do it.
Wow.
They still do it, and they're so good. Oh my god. I sucked. I wasn't even ranked. I would just play quick matches and get fucking my ass reamed.
Dude, I would
Asian boy from Taiwan.
Oh man.
And dude.
Sounds like it hurts.
Yeah, it does. But that I like the game just because of that style, the whole building and collecting resources to, fuel an army. So StarCraft is super fun, and you're right, the story is awesome. Rainier, they're Space Marines, right? Or the Terran? No, Space Marines are from Warhammer.
What do they call the grunts?
Marines.
Do they call them the Marines? Just
I think the Marines.
Okay, they pump them out of the little barracks and stuff like that.
You do 2 at a time.
Yeah, that's right.
The upgrade. I love that game. It's cool.
We've talked about Halo so much, and they definitely deserve an honorable mention whenever it comes to anything in space battles. But I don't know if you want anything to add from previous episodes that we've got.
No, man. Honestly, there's so many Halos that have been out. It's just a blurb in my mind. Just what's one to talk about? It's one specific. I'm like, they're all pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Just Halo in general is a staple for Xbox players.
Yeah, it really is. It's been around a long time.
It has. Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Yep. Let's see. Oh, did you ever watch Ender's Game, or did you read the book?
No, I know they made a movie.
Yep. Yeah. The movie was okay. I enjoyed the movie.
A child, right?
Yeah. Basically, the book is better. Orson Scott Card. Classic sci-fi, because there's always a message in it, even though there's a wild. Well, the one that
don't listen to your parents, kids.
That too. Well, you should never listen to your parents, but don't take that seriously. 14-year-old kids listening to this podcast. But
they shouldn't. I'm pretty sure it's 18 and up to access his podcast.
That's
'Cause
right.
I say fucking shit and bitches.
Right. Yeah, not in the YouTube version, though, which you can watch on our YouTube page, you know.
They're getting, they're going to find it on social
They'll
media.
find it.
They'll find it.
But Ender's Game, he's a young guy, but he's, they've kind of generational breeding to kind of build like these super geniuses. So he's like 10 years old, but he's a super genius, you know. So they recruit him into this training center because there's this war coming with this alien race, and they had the war previously with this alien race, and they almost got wiped out.
Yeah, I remember when they did that to me when I was 10.
Yeah, when you got to go to the secret training facility and
they're like, this guy's a fucking genius.
Yeah, they're like, and send you strategize.
They wiped my brain, obviously, by the time I was 16.
Of course, like they can't really walk around with that kind of knowledge.
No, it would be detrimental to society.
To society. You would take
especially
over,
with the knowledge I have now. But anyways, I digress.
But yeah, they put him through all these, it's a rigorous like training academy, and he makes friends and enemies and stuff like that. And then he kind of graduates to this next level where, it's like real life. It looks like real life simulate, like real life. And so he's got he's got a crew, and he can like, in the movie, they do it cool, like a VR thing, like Iron Man, where he can like zoom in and out with his hands and stuff like that and bring up, HUD.
Like iPhone screen.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. And they bring him to the final field training exercise. All the generals are there and things like that. And I'm just going to talk about the whole movie. They might as well. Yeah, everybody's standing there. Harrison Ford standing there. Sir Ben Kingsley standing there. But they're really like
we just blew up the Death Star.
And now I'm coming over here to check out your exercises. But they're like, look, this is it. This is the final field training exercise. You really have to do it because the war's coming, right? And so they do the whole thing, and he has this amazing strategy and stuff like that, and everything comes together. And he looks up in the movie, he looks up, and they're like people are like crying, they're like so happy. He's like, what's going on? He's
slow
like
clapping.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I don't know if you realize, like, we didn't tell you this, but what you were doing right now was actually happening in real time. Yeah. So he was actually fighting the battle, and he actually won the war without kind of knowing it, But he feels bad. There's a thread in the movie where he kind of starts getting like kind of psychic impressions from the alien race, and he doesn't tell anybody about it. He doesn't realize they're like in weird visions, and he doesn't realize what's going on until the very end, and he feels bad because he just basically committed genocide, and so he goes.
It happens, man.
It happens, occasionally you commit some genocide, and
it's
whatever,
okay.
you move on,
and then you do Thanksgiving.
Like, get over it, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, he goes and finds like one last egg of like a queen, and he goes off by himself, Yeah, he's gonna, take care of it. But
well, I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, the theme is like their children's like the necessity of having to train, push somebody to their limits for the sake of a greater cause. But what's like the psychological damage that you do, and what's the cost? Like, what's too much? So because it's like it's a worthy cause, but you're also kind of destroying this kid's like childhood
psyche.
And humanity and psyche. Yeah, so
I mean, what's one kid?
What's one kid? The greater good.
Exactly.
Speaking of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, no.
Oh my God, here we go. Another hour later.
Dude, wait. Okay,
dude,
I mean,
I want to say something.
Dude,
can I get a
please?
word in
Oh my gosh, help me to stop carrying this episode
because I've been watching. Have you watched The Bad Batch?
No, I haven't. That's the new Star Wars. No, I have not.
Star Wars, like in the cartoon, like the Clone Wars.
Yeah, on Disney Plus. On
Disney Plus, yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah,
I like the fact that they have like a soft for the clones.
Yes,
which is
because they're not quite. Now, are they? They're not quite right in terms of like they don't look and they don't act like everybody else.
Yeah, because they're genetically altered.
Okay,
and they're given like special abilities. Like one of them's name is Wrecker, and he's really strong, but he's a fucking idiot. He's strong ranger. And then you got
you can't have a strong and a smart ranger.
Exactly. And then he's like and then their leader Hunter, who's like an expert tracker, which honestly I don't know what that has to do with anything. Like, why would that make you special if you just know how to track someone? Like, you're not strong.
Because don't they have like technology, like GPS and stuff?
Like they can like have like sensors that read heat signatures that you can literally follow on the ground. That happens.
Right.
But I don't know why he's so special. But he's got a cool face paint half skull. So
that's why he's special.
That's why he's special. But anyway, they're like they're genetically altered. They all have their own special capabilities and whatnot. But the thing is, they don't have, when they were altered, the chips that made them, turn on the third one.
Order 66?
Something like that. Yeah. Order 66. When that was given, everybody was programmed to follow that order. But since they were genetically altered, it didn't
So does the
it didn't
series
turn them.
go beyond that point and
It
like
does.
they're like rogues now
Yeah,
or
so
whatever?
now they went AWOL. So
Oh,
they went
okay.
AWOL, and like one of them technically, well, they still have to get the chips removed. So like that's what the series is. They're trying to remove the chips because one of them, even though they're genetically altered, he ended up changing, and he's like, that's their sniper, their team
okay.
snipers. Now he's like chasing them because they're deserters and they're like labeled as cowards pretty much, and they're like, we got to go and kill him.
That's cool.
So now like the one that was on the team originally who turned, and he's like super soldier because he's just like, good soldiers follow orders, and he's just like genocide, like murdering civilians and everything. And I'm like, there you go, buddy.
Oh,
Like,
wow. Like the guy from, like, what's his name from Tom Berenger's character from Platoon.
Yeah, literally. He's like, we're just going to kill and rape everybody.
Yeah.
But don't do that.
Not in the Disney version.
Not in the Disney version, but yeah, he's cool. But no, I like the one thing, I like the show. The one thing is like the first episode's like 2 hours long.
Oh,
and then
nice.
every episode after is like 20 minutes long.
Oh,
Yeah.
They really get you on the back end.
Exactly. So it's like, what the hell? They like spend all this effort like making the plate, and then you eat the meal, and it's like 3 chicken nuggets. So, but no, Bad
wild.
Batch is cool, man. Check it out. I'll give you my Disney Plus info so you can look at it.
Yeah, it's at www.
It's
the password is.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's time to get into our game.
The game.
So the game is one of my favorites, which we haven't done in a while. It's Two Truths and a Lie.
Ah.
Oh, okay. Classic.
So I'm going to give you 3 facts about a movie, and you tell me which one I made up.
I love it.
Oh yes.
Easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a genius,
Well, I told you I used to be,
No, I'm in
Oh,
trouble.
and then
you guys are fine.
You're going to have to
Fine.
carry me in this
and then I
one.
strategically saved
Get
the
your
world.
mind wiped.
Yeah, you're going to do great, guys. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
So the first movie is Starship Troopers.
Okay.
Got it. We got this.
All right,
I'd expect you to do the same for me.
The only good bug is the dead bug.
here it comes. Its working title was Bug Hunt at Outpost 9. Mark Wahlberg was considered for the lead role of Johnny Rico,
Of course. Johnny Rico.
and this is Paul Verhoeven's least favorite film he's ever made.
It's number 1. It wasn't.
Yeah, I think Mark Wahlberg, that's because,
That's
he's a
easy.
rising star at that point, or
Johnny
an
Rico.
established property. known
Co-ed
entity.
showers.
Yeah,
the one
co-ed
thing the military
showers.
needs.
Yeah.
Co-ed showers.
The one thing that we're missing. That's the thing of keeping us from ultimate victory.
Exactly.
And I could see Paul Verhoeven. He's
like, "This is the worst
he's a European dude. He wants to do like the artsy fartsy films, the Basic
He
Instincts.
wants to do the lighthouse. Eating poop and cheese.
And if you want to, if you listen to like commentaries about the movie, like he's kind of like trolling everybody because it's like a total Marxist society. It's a fascist society.
Yeah.
He's like making political commentary in the midst of this big budget action movie stuff. So I would agree that it was his least favorite movie.
What is it? Fighting bugs on
Outpost 9.
Bug Hunt at Outpost 9
Bug
was
Hunt.
the
Yeah.
working title.
I think that
It
was the
was?
lie.
No, I'm saying that's the fact that I said.
Yeah.
That's the fact. Are
And
you
I
saying
would
it is
say-
a fact? And I'm
saying
telling
that-
you, sir.
This is the first thing I said. Its working title was Bug Hunt at Outpost 9.
And I'm telling you, sir, that is a lie.
So Cameron thinks that's a lie. What do you think?
I also think that's the lie.
That is the truth.
What?
What?
The other truth is that Mark Wahlberg was considered.
For Johnny Rico.
This is actually Paul Verhoeven's favorite film he's ever done.
Whoa,
Really?
no kidding, huh? Well, did he say why?
I think it's for the reasons you were saying, that he loved that it was a satirical and he was kind of trolling people, and I think he just thought it was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's cool. I totally misread Paul Verhoeven.
I guess so.
That's great,
A little
man.
bit.
Cool.
But yeah, Bug Hunt at Outpost 9.
Bug Hunt
Which
at
is funny
Outpost
because the name of the book that it's based on is Starship Troopers.
Right.
Yeah.
But working title just means that that's just what they were calling it in production.
Yeah.
Okay.
The book is very different. I've read most of the book.
Yeah, the book's
and
very
it's
different.
book's very personal. It's like a first person perspective. And the guys, it's like what it means to be a soldier and what it means to be a citizen.
I
It's
just like
actually
how Johnny
fun.
Rico is literally battlefield promoted, like from the lowest to the top in
Yep.
a matter of days.
Yep.
That's how it works when you're a what are they called?
Fascist society.
Yeah, when you're fascist. No, actually, a fun fact. Paul Verhoeven, he didn't even finish reading the book because he thought it was terrible. He's like, the book is not good.
I know what to do with this.
Yeah, I'm going to make a movie out of
We're
it.
going to make a lot of bug stuff.
Okay, next movie, Return
Bug
of the
stuff.
Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Nice.
Okay? Obi-Wan and Yoda were supposed to come back to life at the end of the movie. They almost cast a woman to be the unmasked Darth Vader.
That would have been what would happen if they made it today.
It was originally called Return of the Jedi before being changed to Revenge of the Jedi and then being changed back.
Oh,
these are
ooh,
all
that's a tough
very
one because I know that one of the alternate titles was Revenge of the Jedi. I think that's why they ended up going with Revenge of the Sith in the prequels, because Jedi don't get revenge. They're honorable. Yeah. And what was the second one that almost cast a
They
female?
almost cast a woman to be the unmasked Darth Vader.
Oh, really? I am your father, and then they.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
Well, he
that
doesn't say
definitely
I'm-
would have happened today.
He just says, "I'm your father," right? That's the big misconception about the movie. Is everyone says, "Luke, I am your father."
No,
But
he's-
he
yeah.
just says,
I am your father.
"I am your father." That's interesting.
Yeah. But did you guys ever see Thumb Wars?
Hold on, guys.
Sorry.
Don't lose the thread.
Okay,
here.
all right. Because they do it in that.
I'm gonna say the lie is Obi-Wan and Yoda come back to life.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that too. Yeah.
That is true. Obi-Wan and Yoda were supposed to come back to life. They were supposed to come back from the netherworld.
Oh, wow.
Damn it!
And it was originally called Return of the Jedi, and then the studio changed it to Revenge of the Jedi, and then George Lucas changed it back to Return of the
Return of
Jedi.
the Jedi.
So the lie is that they almost cast a woman to be the unmasked Darth Vader.
Yeah, I should have gone with that.
on that one. Sorry.
I should have gone with that.
You guys, I think his Thumb Wars thing just
Yeah,
threw
it
you
threw
guys
me.
off.
Yeah, I'm
Threw me off, and I forgot all the options. So I just
Looking
went
at
with the
these,
one I
that's
remembered.
clearly the lie.
No
But
more.
yeah.
Yeah.
They actually
then
wanted
they'd have to be
a.
like, "Luke, I am your mother."
They wanted a big name movie star, but then they settled on a nondescript person because
Yeah.
they didn't want that to They were going to try and get Laurence Olivier or someone else, and then they were like, no.
Did you ever see I Am Your Father, the documentary about David Prowse, who played Darth Vader? He had a big falling out with George Lucas, apparently. He's never been invited to any Star Wars celebration or anything like that, or never was.
Really?
And a French film director kind of went and did a documentary about his life, and then they actually recreated that set and the scene, and they got him to film in the thing. Like
That's
you couldn't watch it because it's copyrighted, but they got him to the actor to play so he could do his final death scene. So it's
That's
cool.
fun.
He's the brother, right?
What's that?
He's a brother.
David Prowse?
Yeah.
No, big white British dude.
Really?
Yeah.
You're thinking of James Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones was the
Darth Vader?
voice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes okay.
And James
that
Earl
makes
Jones
sense.
always made no bones. He's like, look, I'm not Darth Vader. I am a special effect. I'm an
Okay.
augmentation. The Darth Vader is David Prowse. So.
I see. Okay.
All right.
All right.
This
Next
is the last one. You guys are 0 for 2.
Yep, that's okay.
All right. So the last one
But
is...
we're together.
Yes.
Which I realized that the first two were space related. This last one is not space related.
Good.
It's Rambo.
Oh, thank God.
All right. So these are the facts. Tell me which one's a lie. The name Rambo comes from a type of grape. The character of Rambo was based on Audie Murphy, who you guys know.
Mm-hmm.
And in First Blood, Rambo doesn't actually kill anyone.
Oh, in the book?
No,
in the movie?
He doesn't actually kill anyone.
He doesn't kill anyone.
He doesn't kill.
So-
You're right, because
He
yes,
doesn't actually kill anyone.
the helicopter guy, I think they get too close to the... No, wait. Because that guy falls and dies, right? Because he's shooting at him from the helicopter.
We're filming you, Cam.
I'm over here with my phone down here, just like I do bar trivia. I'm always just got my phone underneath.
Looking it up.
I'm gonna go with the lie. Is you ever had a Rambo grape before?
Yeah, I never even heard that. That sounds
I
ridiculous.
think I'm not a grape expert.
We're always going with the first choice too, which is kind of interesting. But I can't remember in that scene whether or not he kills the guy or if he falls out and dies or something like that.
Well, he does say, you're gonna need one thing. A whole lot of body bags.
But then he almost kills a guy and he captures some dudes.
But I
He
don't
doesn't
know
actually
if
kill
the
anybody.
character is based off Audie Murphy, because Audie Murphy was a very small man, and Sylvester Stallone is a jacked guy and the Italian Stallion.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought maybe
And he was
service record.
Audie Murphy wasn't Special Forces either.
Yeah, but he was highly decorated.
He was. But that's
Maybe
easy
the
to do
second
with
one.
wartime.
I just never heard of Rambo grapes. It just seems really ridiculous to me. But maybe I'm just not a man of culture.
Okay, you want to split it and see?
Let's do. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
I love one of you is going to jump on the grenade.
I'm gonna say that he's not based off of Audie Murphy. No, I'm gonna say grapes. No
You
grapes.
said grape.
Grapes.
Grape. Great.
Rambo grape.
Grape. And I'm going to say he was based off Audie Murphy, because that sounds like a lie.
The character of Rambo was based on Audie Murphy.
All right.
Like Israel said, it's because of his service record, not because of anything too specific.
Whatever.
And in
I don't
First
care.
Blood, Rambo doesn't kill anyone. He throws a rock at the helicopter, and that makes the helicopter move, and then the guy falls out of the helicopter. He doesn't kill anyone, although that's debatable in the court of law. The name Rambo doesn't come from a type of grape. It's actually an apple.
Rambo apple.
Rambo apple.
Interesting.
It's I believe it's like a Norwegian guy that discovered the variety of apple, and his last name is Rambo, so they're called Rambo apples.
Oh, cool. So it's not an
I don't know
ever
why
wanna
we
eat
don't
a
go with
really
like the
badass
simple
apple.
stuff. Don't try to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
You guys, I swear, just watching that, you guys really talked yourselves out of the right answer.
Yeah, we did. Rainbow grape.
Every single time. Every single time you talked yourself out of the right answer.
Oh, man, we think about it too
I still
much.
love myself.
Yeah. Oh, I still love you guys.
Look, I took self-esteem courses in college, so
Exactly.
I
I
feel
just- I
they're
look in
paying
the
off
mirror and I
dividends.
say, you were great. Despite what the rest of the world thinks, you are great. Every day in the mirror, 5 times.
but not grape, apple.
Not grape. Apple. You are apple.
And with that, we come to the end of another amazing episode of the Pop Culture Field Manual podcast. Folks, thanks for listening in. Release a podcast episode every Wednesday.
Yes, we do.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, go and listen to it anywhere where you listen to podcasts. We also have a YouTube channel where the video versions are released, usually every week on the Friday or Saturday following that release of the episode. There's
Let's go
extra
with
stuff.
Friday.
Let's go with Friday.
Let's go with Friday.
Let's be
Give it a hard
professional. Extra stuff on the YouTube channel videos. So
If you guys want to see behind the scenes, if you want to see me talk about homeless guys doing push-ups, it's
Extra
probably not
Gamma.
going to be on here.
probably not, yeah.
But yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe when you're there. If you want to get a hold of us, you can follow us on Instagram at PCFM Podcast or write us an email at pcfmpodcast@gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you. Absolutely cherish and value all the feedback we get from you guys, good or bad, as we promote every single episode. Please go ahead and send us an email. And I'll say that one more time just because it's super awesome that the feedback we have received has been extremely beneficial in creating this podcast. So that's pcfmpodcast@gmail.com. And if you guys want to go ahead and check out my streetwear brand, you can go to www.kitgodapparel.com or find us on Instagram at kitgodapparel. Coming out with some dope stuff, doing a lot of big things here in the next year. Go ahead, check it out.
I buy all your stuff.
Yeah, Izzy wears
Except for
all
the
my
white. I get the white T-shirt that you got now. And if you want to hang out with me, go to I stream on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/myhappyself. Yeah, folks, we'll see you soon.
stuff. All right. Cue music.